Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, working. Good to go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park. We're getting set on this Friday, July 16th, for a 6-race qualifying session. First qualifier for 2-year-old Pacers, scratch number 2 beat reporter, and we have a trio of driver changes to pass along. Number 3, Team Mac. The driver will be Louis-Philippe Waugh. Number 5, Courageux. It'll be Mark Stacy. And number 7, Century Iglesias, Bob McClure. It will be a field of 7 for our first qualifier. Moving in behind the gate in just a moment. We're just waiting on one more horse to come off the track from warming up. While we have a second, let's introduce the field right now. Number 1, Lady Tuvey. Sports Writer filly owned by Craig Turner, who's also the breeder. Scott McInerney trains and Tyler Moore will drive. 2 is Scratch. 3 is Team Mac. Better's Delight Gelding, owned by Hut Racing Stable. Steve Heimbecker, Blake McIntosh. McIntosh trains. Louis Waugh will steer. A $72,000 yearling. 4, Macho Phil is a Shanghai Phil colt, owned by Catherine Stacy and Hudson Standardbred Stable. Trained by Sean Stacy. The driver is James McDonald. 5 is Courageux. Sunshine Beach colt, owned by Catherine Stacy and Hudson Standardbred Stable. Sean Stacy trains. Mark Stacy will drive. 6 is Observer, a 2-year-old colt by He's Watching, owned and bred by Andrea Lee Racing Stables. Dustin Jones trains and drives, a $12,000 yearling. 7 is Century Iglesias, Shadow Play colt, owned by Jack Darling Stables Limited. Darling trains. Bob McClure will drive, a $35,000 yearling. And number 8, He's Stalking You, is a He's Watching colt, owned by Benary Guerrero, Sidney Weaver, Bruce Norris, and Paul Henderson. Dave Maneri trains. Jody Jamieson will drive. That's your field of 7 for our first of 6 on this Friday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. Starting gate nearing the top of the stretch. Friday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. Thanks for joining us. Mark McKelvey with you to take you through today's action. Scratch down to a field of 7 for our first qualifier. They're picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing. From the inside, Lady Tuvey is showing early speed. Next door neighbor Team Mac comes away well. Towards the center, it is Macho Phil. Courageux. Far outside, He's Stalking You, going to be forwardly placed by Jameson. Then we go back to the final 2, Observer and Century Iglesias. On to the first turn they go, and it's the debuting Courageux to the front for Mark Stacy. Leads it by a length and a half as He's Stalking You looks to pocket up. They head to the opening quarter, and it is up on the board in 29 and 3. So a little steppy and off stride when He's Stalking You, so wasn't going to take the 2-hole, doesn't look like. At least Jameson was going to go on to the top and made a miscue. That one resets now, and we'll look to power back up. And here comes He's Stalking You on the outside, looking to clear Courageux. Racing third is Team Mac. 4th is Lady Tuvey, followed 5th by Macho Phil. 2 lengths then to Observer, and the trailer is Century Iglesias. He's Stalking You gets to the front now as they race past the half in 59 and 3. On to the final turn go the rookie Pacers. He's Stalking You. Into the final bend, a leader by 3.5 lengths. Second is Courageux, 2 lengths back to Team Mac in third. 4th is Lady Tuvey, tracked by Macho Phil in 5th. 6th is Observer, and Century Iglesias gets underway from the back of the pack. Separation up front of 4 lengths here for He's Stalking You. And He's Stalking You, not doing that here today, is on the front past 3/4 in 128 and 1. Kicked it up there, 28 and 3 in the third quarter, off the turn and into the stretch. He's Stalking You, looking to close it out strong. A leader now by 5. Back in second is Courageux. Third is Team Mac. Century Iglesias is rallying now up into 4th. Macho Phil looking to finish up well in 5th. At the inside, Lady Tuvey, and then Observer coming into deep stretch, and the lead continues to grow. He's Stalking You. A fumble in the first turn, but gets it back together and will win it. Second goes to Macho Phil over Century Iglesias. Those two finishing up well together. And then went back to Team Mac, followed by Observer, Courageux, and Lady Tuvey, 156 and 4. Qualifier number 2 is coming up next. We move over to the trot, and we've got 3-year-olds and up. Field of 5. Number 1, Strictly Business, a 3-year-old gelding trained by Richard Moreau with Louis-Philippe Bois. 2 is HP Mighty Angus, a 3-year-old colt trained by Jean Tourney with Sylvain Filion. 3, He's in Contention, a 3-year-old gelding trained and driven by Aaron Byron. 4, Witches and Angels, a 5-year-old mare trained by Joe McIsaac with Jody Jameson. And the 5 is Life is a Feast, a 4-year-old gelding trained by Ben Wallace. The driver is James McDonald. Starting gate to the top of the stretch, it's a field of 5 for our second qualifier. Here they come for the second, and they are off and trotting. This field of 5 off to a fairly even beginning, but off stride right in the center went He's in Contention. He's in Contention makes the miscue, so a couple rivals have to get around. No problem for Witches and Angels as the 5-year-old mare strides out to the lead. HP Mighty Angus got away in second. Life is a Feast circles around to settle third. Strictly Business fourth, and resetting He's in Contention is fifth. Around the first turn they'll go, following Witches and Angels. She's the veteran of this group as the 5-year-old mare brings them to the opening quarter in 30-2. Racing into the backstretch, and just 6 lengths separate them from front to back. 2-length advantage, though, grows on the front for Witches and Angels. HP Mighty Angus in second. Filion takes a peek around. We'll see if he continues to trot in second. Nope, he wants to go to the front. So HP Mighty Angus will loop to the lead. Racing third is Life is a Feast, 2.5 lengths back then to Strictly Business fourth, and He's in Contention is fifth. HP Mighty Angus, the 3-year-old colt, takes over the top spot now for Sylvain Filion and races them past the midway point in 1:02. He's in Contention made another break, so it was a 1:02 half mile, so not a whole lot of speed here. You'd expect that they're going to really step it up here in the back half as they enter the final turn. And HP Mighty Angus gets his cue to roll. 5/8 now complete. He leads it by 2 lengths. Second is Witches and Angels. Life is a Feast has been third throughout. Then it's a break of 3.5 back to Strictly Business in fourth. And your trailer fifth, He's in Contention. HP Mighty Angus races past 3 quarters in 1:31-2. So they'll turn for home. Third quarter was trotted in 29-2. HP Mighty Angus, the leader by about 3. Back in second is Witches and Angels. Life is a Feast to the outside now, trying to get into that second spot. Under 1/8 of a mile remaining in it. Life is a Feast closing in quickly on HP Mighty Angus and going right on by. Life is a Feast will take the second qualifier from third to first and takes it by about 3.5. Finishing second was HP Mighty Angus. Then it was Witches and Angels, followed by Strictly Business, and He's in Contention, 1:59-3. Here we go for the third qualifier. 3-year-old and up on the pace. 1, Control the Thong, 3-year-old filly trained by Dominic Gladue with James McDonald. 2, Treasure in the Sand, 3-year-old gelding. It'll be Sylvan Fillion for trainer Michael DeSantis. 3 is Outlaw State of Mind, a 4-year-old gelding. Jody Jameson for trainer Frank Baker. 4 is Quan Blue Chip, 5-year-old gelding. That one is scratched. Number 5, Lucky Benji. Martin Lachance trains and drives this 3-year-old colt. So they're off and pacing. A field of 4 here for the third qualifier. And from the middle, there goes Outlaw State of Mind out to the lead. Lucky Benji will look to settle in second in front of Control the Thong third. 4th is Treasure in the Sand. So the group of 4 heads on into the first turn. Outlaw State of Mind to the front, and this 4-year-old gelding will show the way. Lucky Benji second. 3rd is Control the Thong. And Treasure in the Sand is about 7 from the front, racing in 4th. The opening quarter was 28-2. And on to the backstretch they go. They're following Outlaw State of Mind. 0 for 8 last year. Yet to race this season. Third qualifier this year for Outlaw State of Mind. Is doing it on the front end here this morning. Was on the front. Getting steppy in second. That was Lucky Benji. He was just about to say Outlaw State of Mind was on the front in his qualifier on July 3rd at Hiawatha. And made a break just after the half, but continued to go all the way on the front. The half, 57-3. 29-1 in the second quarter. And here's Outlaw State of Mind. Looking to keep it together as the end of the final turn. Lucky Benji put in some steps coming to the half. Is now moving to the outside for trainer Martin Lachance. 3rd is Control the Thong. And then we go about a dozen lengths back to Treasure in the Sand 4th. So Outlaw State of Mind's confronted here by Lucky Benji. They're on even terms at 3/4 in 127. Pacers will spin for home. And off the turn and into the stretch. Lucky Benji on the outside. Has yet to get by Outlaw State of Mind. These two will battle. Meanwhile, Control the Thong quietly now looks to scoot up the rail. And here comes the 3-year-old filly. So 3 across. Control the Thong up the inside. Outlaw State of Mind turned away the outside challenge. Coming to the line, Outlaw State of Mind to go the distance. Second was Control the Thong. Lucky Benji was 3rd. And then 4th will be Treasure in the Sand. 154-4. Coming up next is our fourth qualifier. 2-year-old trotters. Scratch number 5, Luxury Brand. Sylvan Filion drives number 4, CM Save Will GL. And Aaron Byron drives the 8, Rose Run X-Man. The field, number 1 is Irish Charm, a 2-year-old filly by Father Patrick. Owned by David McDonald, Shelley McMillan, Hudson Standardbred Stable, and Dave Reed. Sean Stacy trains, James McDonald will drive. 2 is Maisie's Muscles, 2-year-old filly by Muscle Hill, owned by the Mortgage Boys Stable, Blake McIntosh, Princeton Farms, and Van Camp Trotting Corp. Blake McIntosh trains, Jody Jameson drives, a $25,000 yearling. 3 is Black Bomber, gelded son of Archangel, owned by Douglas McCarthy, trained by Keith Jones. Bob McClure will drive, a $7,200 yearling. 4 CM Save Will GL is a muscle mass colt, owned by a Number Quebec Incorporated, Serge Leonard, trained by Dominic Gladue. The driver is Sylvan Filion. 5 is out. 6 is You Never Gonna Get This. Muscle mass colt, owned by Sweetgrass Equestrian, trained by Sean Stacy. He'll do the driving. 7 is Songwriter K, an Encore colt, owned by Winning Key Incorporated, trained by Paul Reed. Scott Young drives. And number 8 is Rose Run X-Men, gelded son of Uncle Peter, owned by Steve Einbecker and Michael Guerrero. Dave Maneri trains. Aaron Byron will do the driving, a $47,000 yearling. So scratching the 5, Filion on the 4, Byron on the 8. Rookie trotters into the stretch, and here they come for the 4th. And they're off and trotting. And the quickest away is Maisie's Muscles. Maisie's Muscles steps out to the lead. Here's CM Save Will GL on the outside. We'll see if that one wants to get around or will be content taking the 2-hole. You're Never Gonna Get This is back there in 3rd. Then 4th is Irish Charm. 5th on the outside is Rose Run X-Men, followed by Songwriter K, and the early trailer is Black Bomber. Into the first turn and off stride went Maisie's Muscles. Maisie's Muscles makes the miscue on the front, so inheriting the lead is CM Save Will GL. Opening quarter was 29-1. Rookies will move into the backstretch, and they're following CM Save Will GL, who is a leader of almost 6 lengths. Back in 2nd, You're Never Gonna Get This. Then racing 3rd is Irish Charm. Tightening up 4th is Rose Run X-Men, followed 5th by Songwriter K. Off stride after the opening quarter was Black Bomber. So too Maisie's Muscles well back. So 5 of them remain as they approach the midway point. And it is CM Save Will GL on the lead. The half was 1 minute and 3/5. So the second quarter was trotted in 31-2. And they tighten up on CM Save Will GL. That one was all by themselves up at the lead. And now we'll hear the footsteps as Irish Charm is into 2nd. 3rd is Rose Run X-Men. Then in 4th is You Never Gonna Get This. Racing 5th, Songwriter K. And it is well back to the breakers. Black Bomber and Maisie's Muscles. To 3/4 they go. CM Save Will GL is past there in 1:31-4. So turning for home. CM Save Will GL will get some competition. Now, Irish Charm sitting right on the leader's back 2nd. Rose Run X-Men is then there 3rd. 4th is You Never Gonna Get This. Under 1/8 of a mile to go. CM Save Will GL still with the lead. Here's Rose Run X-Men on the outside trying to get to the leader's wheel in deep stretch, but it'll be CM Save Will GL to take it. Rose Run X-Men was 2nd. 3rd went to Irish Charm, followed 4th by You Never Gonna Get This, and then it was Songwriter K, 2:01 flat. Starting gate now rolling for our 5th qualifier, 2-year-old Pacers. Field is 7. The 1, Half Moon K. He's watching Philly. Jack Darling Stables Limited owns and bred. Darling trains. Jody Jameson will drive. 2, Einhorn and his Finkel is a Sunshine Beach filly owned by Duncan Brewer and Randall Urquhart, trained by Duncan Brewer. Scott Young drives a $15,000 yearling. 3 on the agenda, a Better's Delight filly owned by Yolanda Fellows, Blair Corbeil, Patrick Dillon, and M&S Racing Stable, trained by Rob Fellows. Louis Philippe Waugh will drive a $42,000 yearling. 4, Building Hope, Thinking Out Loud filly owned by Kenneth Curran, who's also the breeder. John Curran trains. Looks like Aaron Byron is driving. The 5, Lady Chryslin, Big Jim filly, owned and bred by Craig Turner. Scott McEnany trains. Tyler Moore drives, $21,000 yearling. 6, In the Mood, Sunshine Beach filly, owned by Catherine Stacy, Hudson Standardbred Stable. Sean Stacy trains. James McDonald drives. And the 7 is Riley, a War We Needy gelding. Dan and Kim Sargent, the owner breeders. Blake McIntosh trains, and Bob McClure will do the driving. And they're off and pacing, and firing out to the early lead goes Building Hope. That one flashing good gate speed. Then at the inside, it is Half Moon K. Around that, rival is On the Agenda, who will cross over. Racing 4th is In the Mood on the outside. Down to the inside, Einhorn is Finkel, got away 5th. 6th is Riley, and the trailer 7th is Lady Chryslin. Into the first turn they go, and your leader is Building Hope. Up front here by a little over a length and a half through an opening quarter of 29-4. Onto the backstretch we'll go. These 2-year-old Pacers as they follow Building Hope. Woodbine Mohawk Park debut for Building Hope, the daughter of Thinking Out Loud, a leader by 2. 2nd is On the Agenda. Racing 3rd is Half Moon K. Right on that one's back. 4th is In the Mood. Followed 5th by Einhorn is Finkel. 6th up the backside, Riley in the trailer. 7th is Lady Chryslin. Single file as they approach the midway point following Building Hope. As tightening up in 2nd is On the Agenda. They're past the half in 59-4. 30 seconds even in the second quarter, entering the final turn. They tighten up a little bit now. Building Hope is leading it. 2-hole ride for On the Agenda. Half Moon K stays inside 3rd. At the inside, 4th is In the Mood. Einhorn Finkel is advancing on the outside, and catching cover was Riley, and the trailer, Lady Chryslin. 4 in, 3 out, 3/4 the next destination. Hugging the pylons closely there is Building Hope, and out of the deuce comes On the Agenda. 3/4 time, 1:30-1. So they'll turn for home, and it has been Building Hope to this point. Here's On the Agenda, looking to surge on by. Half Moon K is in behind the leader, looking for racing room. In the center of the track, Einhorn is Finkel. Off cover from the back, Riley. And splitting between horses comes In the Mood. Good finish here. They're all across the track. It's Einhorn is Finkel. In the Mood in the center. Outside, Riley coming down to the line. And it was In the Mood who got it, the debuter. Gets it by a slim margin over Einhorn is Finkel. Riley on the outside, 1:59-2. Time now for our 6th and final qualifier. Scratching numbers 3 and 8. Number 1 is Rose Run Eccentric, Cadaver filly, owned by Brookbro Racing and Chris Bell. Trained by Rob Fellows. Bob McClure drives, a $17,000 yearling. 2, Pocahontas is a Father Patrick filly, owned by Rick Zeron Stables, Knobloch Racing Stable, Jeffrey Rook. Rick Zeron trains and drives. 3 is out. 4, Arcana, Muscle Mass filly, owned by Doug McCarthy, trained by Keith Jones. Sylvan Filion will drive, a $25,000 yearling. 5, Warrowe Xenia is a Walner filly, owned by David McDonald, Dale Larson, Bertrand Gillespie Stable, and A.K. Malik Stable. Sean Stacey trains. James McDonald drives, a $50,000 yearling. 6 is Arch Adam, an Archangel colt, owned by Douglas McCarthy, trained by Keith Jones. Louis Waugh will drive, a $7,000 yearling. 7, Top Down is an Archangel colt, owned by Natasha Rivet, trained and driven by Sean Stacey, a $15,000 yearling. So a field of 6 2-year-old trotters for our final qualifier on this Friday morning. Starting gate picking up speed, and here they come. They're off and trotting. There goes Arcana from the center. That one the quickest away. Off stride just after the start went top down. Getting away second is Pocahontas. Settling third is Warrowe Xenia. Then back to Rose Run Eccentric fourth. Green beginning for the debuting Arch Adam. That one was off the gate, but keeps it together and gets away fifth. And then resetting is Top Down. Into the first turn they go. And your leader is Arcana. Second is Pocahontas. Third, Warrowe Xenia. Then we go back to Rose Run Eccentric in fourth. Off stride went Arch Adam before the opening quarter. And Top Down. The opening panel was 29 and 4. And they're into the backstretch. The leader is Arcana. Second is Pocahontas, then 3 lengths back to Warrowe Xenia in third. Fourth is Rose Run Eccentric, and then we go back to Top Down and Arch Adam, the trailers. Approaching the half, the debuting filly Arcana, this daughter of Muscle Mass, brings them to the midway point off a 29 and 4 opener. 1 minute and 4/5 is your half-mile clocking. On to the final turn. 4 of them remain, and they're tightly packed here now. The leader, Arcana, Pocahontas, tracking right there in second for Zeron. Right on that one's back is Warrowe Xenia third. And fourth is Rose Run Eccentric. That one coming to the outside now. Your trailers continue to be Top Down and Arch Adam heading to 3/4. Arcana by a length and a half. Pocahontas now to the outside for Zeron as Rose Run Eccentric is moved up into third. Inside Warrowe Xenia fourth. 1:32 and 1. Rookie trotters will look to sprint on home. Here's Pocahontas out of the deuce and charging on by. Pocahontas the leader. Arcana fading back now as the rivals will get by her late. Warrowe Xenia looking to come up the inside, and on the outside is Rose Run Eccentric. 3 across finish coming up. Pocahontas with the lead. Rose Run Eccentric coming on the outside. Pocahontas and Rose Run Eccentric, these two coming down to the line. Pocahontas getting steppy and rolls off stride. Rose Run Eccentric will get it. Pocahontas off stride second. Then it was Warrowe Xenia third, and fourth went to Arcana. Time of the mile, 2 minutes and a fifth.